and the accepted meaning of destiny is to make firm establish. So my guest and I bring you messages to establish what you need to know in the present. And also, I like working with angels and the calmness they bring. Now, in a moment, I will introduce you to my wonderful guest, Caroline Sharp. But before that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching the show live at a later date, as it means a lot to me to connect with like-minded women. Now, if you've never met me before, then my name is Ray, and I love to help women to crossroads in their life, heal their past, create their future, and transform their present, so they can take charge of their destiny in the here and now. I'm the founder of Radiant Angel Energy, and I use angelic Reiki, future life progression, past life regression, guided meditation, angel oracle cards, and hypnosis to help women who feel lost get clear on their reason for being here. And I've also created a transformational journey to help you take charge of your destiny and a journey through lifetimes. Now, each episode of the show will cover various themes of your journey, a mini guided meditation or angel card reading with the wisdom of my wonderful guests, like today's guest, Caroline Sharp, about unweaving our patterns and illusions. Now, Caroline is a well established multidimensional intuitive energy therapist, coach, and teacher who provides powerful transformative healing therapy coaching sessions. Described as a master soul traveler, Caroline works with you to unweave patterns and illusions of disharmony, to encourage an enlightening transformation and empower a clearer, more harmonious sense of well-being. Over the past 20 years, Caroline has channeled many energy healing transmissions that are available on her website and all major web players. Caroline also runs regular crystal sound baths and energy teachings online and in person. Now, with testimonials such as Caroline exudes a calm and tranquility which immediately put me at ease both before, during, and most importantly after the healing session. And bless you, Caroline, you are worth the 50-minute drive and you are worth every penny. I thank the day I found you. Thank you. And as of today, I'm clear of pain as though the sciatica was never there. That's my little miracle for now, and I hope it will last and last. Thanks for your generous heart and healing hands. So, without further delay, hello, Caroline, and welcome to the Angels of Destiny show. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you, Ray, and thank you for inviting me to be here.
You're welcome. It is the summer solstice, so happy Letha to everyone watching, and may you have lots of abundance come your way. So before we get into this fascinating conversation, I want to remind you that not only can you share this show, but you can also ask questions, leave comments and thoughts, as both Karen and I want to be part of this conversation. So please do not be shy. So Caroline, why don't you tell us more about your journey and how we can unweave our patterns and illusions?
Thank you. So my journey has been quite an interesting one. I had an awakening into energy when I was in my early 20s and could feel energy coming out of my hands, and I wasn't really sure what it was or what was happening for me. So I went over to New York actually to visit my aunt, who was a Reiki master. And she immediately knew what to do. And the first thing she did was attune me to Reiki. And that's where my journey started. Now, what I found with Reiki was that I could work with the energy and bring the energy through, but I wasn't a traditional Reiki practitioner. I was always breaking the rules and doing things differently and going off as a tangent. And a lot of the rules didn't really fit for me. They didn't kind of work with the energy field that I was working with. But I came back and I learned some more, and then I learned Terra May and Seikim as well. And I've always been someone who likes to learn and develop my skill, and also kind of intuitively learning as well. So learning what works for me rather than what's in the textbook. So that led me to meet a very lovely lady called Donna Swan, and we started a healing journey together. And we would meet every week and give each other some healing. And one evening I was lying there receiving some healing, and I just got this huge energy came in, and I started to channel, and I started to receive information, and it was an angel. And was completely disconnected. It was all just coming through, and Donna, bless her, grabbed a pen and paper and just started writing everything down. Yeah, and she wrote all this stuff down, and it came to the end, and I kind of felt this energy leave, and I was like, "Whoa, what happened?" And she was like, "You said all this stuff. It was amazing, and you were this archangel, and you la 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 la." I was like, "What? No, I was just like, I could feel stuff. I didn't really pay any attention to it." And that kind of really led me to connecting with the angels, connecting with the archangels, connecting with the ascended masters, and really bringing their energy through, and kind of channeling their energy and really opening up to more multi-dimensional energies, and ultimately kind of connecting in with that part of ourselves which is divine, that aspect within ourselves that we all have that is connected with divinity. We are creation, and really kind of understanding that journey. And from there we decided to run. Hi, Eleanor. Sorry.
Okay.
So from there, we kind of went on to run workshops, and we went on to do presentations at the Mind, Body and Spirit events at the horticultural halls in London. And we travelled. We went to New York. We went to Paris. We went to Madrid. We, really sort of spread everything. And at the same time, we were kind of like, we need to record this stuff. So we recognised that we were bringing through healing rays. We recognised we were bringing through ascended master attunements, or activations, as I'd like to call them. And so we recorded them. So there were 12 healing rays that came through. There were 12 ascended master attunements that came through, and each one with a purpose to help us on our journey and our ascension, or our evolution, our awakening of what we are, who we are. And with each one of these, it helped us to kind of shift old beliefs, old ways. It helped us to start to understand ourselves. And it was really a self journey, a journey of self exploration, of understanding the self. And we recognized that through this, that the more we understood ourselves, the more we understood other people. And actually, the more accepting we were of ourselves, the more compassionate we were of ourselves, the more we were of other people. And so our lives got easier. Our family kind of became, a little more harmonious. I wouldn't say completely, because you know what? I've got 2 teenagers in the house, and they are not harmonious all the time. But there was more harmony, there was more ease, we were starting to understand ourselves. And this then led me on to start to learn counselling. What I recognised was that I was lacking the tools, the words to help people kind of break through. And so I was really interested in the mind and how the mind worked and what was going on with their thought patterns. So I started a journey of learning counselling, and actually this September I'm going to be finishing that journey. I'm actually moving on to do my final 2 years, which I'm really excited about. It's like I got to a certain point and then I had some children and I stopped. So yeah, and I did life coaching as well, so I qualified in life coaching, and that really helped me to understand how to ask open questions, how to really listen, how to really pick up, empathically we pick up on people's how they, oh God, come on, right words, Caroline. The way their body works, the way they're talking, the tones in their voice, how they're looking, things like that. Empathically we pick up on that, but with those counselling skills we start to really understand what they're showing, what they're hiding, when they're uncomfortable. So it kind of brings another layer to it. And it also helped me to let go of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
To when I hear someone say, I should do this, or I must do that, to actually return that as a question and go, is that really what you want to do?
Yeah.
And for them to go, oh, and it's like, When you say I should, it sounds like a chore.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like something you'd really like to do. When you say I must do this, that sounds really hard and really heavy. But when you say I choose to, that sounds really light and really liberating. So, yeah, so I kind of, there was lots of different layers. So there was like all the spiritual stuff and all that opening and awakening and all that energy that's kind of trickled through. But there's also the practical side as well. So there's all that technical learning, I guess, that comes with the counselling, the coaching. And then what I've done is I've merged the two together. So if you come to me for a session, then we're going to sit there and we're going to have a chat, and I'm going to want to know about you. Yeah. And I always say I am not a psychic. I work with energy. You bring whatever you want to work on, and we will work on that. And so people come in and they sit and they talk and stuff comes out, and I ask questions and get to the root. And they go, ooh, and I go, come on.
Yeah.
And then
fake. I'm getting there.
Yeah, there it is. And then they will, if it's on a Zoom session, they'll just sit back and relax. If it's on in person, then they might lie down on a treatment couch, and I'll bring that energy in, and we'll start to shift that stuff. We'll start to clear it out. We'll start to release those patterns that I can see that are repeating. And of course, as we're bringing the energy in, and I'm quite visual when I see that energy coming through as well. Sometimes I can see it going into the roots. I can see it going into the ancestral history. I can see that this is really, really old stuff that possibly isn't even in the conscious mind.
Yeah.
And so we're playing out this behavioural pattern that we are not even aware of. And it's something that Granny believed in or great granddad believed in. It's way back, and yet it's worked through. And there we are sitting there going, I must do this way.
Yeah.
I must behave this way. I must feel responsible for this or this or this or this or this. And ultimately, as we're clearing that through and releasing that, and that trickles through, and this weight is lifted, and it's like, I don't have to feel responsible for that. I don't have to behave like that. And that gives an opportunity for a new way, a new pattern, a new pathway. So, and it's the same with the illusions as well, the things that we tell ourselves that aren't actually true. And that creation, that sort of how we're creating our lives, and what we think we want and what we actually want are quite often two different things. Hello.
Yeah.
So it all, sorry, my headphones come out.
That's okay. As long as you can still hear me. Well,
I can still hear it,
anyway.
Yeah. So all this stuff is all going on within our body, and we're quite emotional, and we sort of hold on to our emotions, and we sort of put them in different parts of our body. And you'll often hear about people talking about blocks, or that there's certain areas that are more dense, or there's certain areas within the body that feel discomfort or pain. And quite often these come from emotional trauma or emotional memories that have been sitting there for a certain period of time. And sometimes they're from our ancestors, and sometimes they're from this life, or sometimes they could be from past incarnations, but they're sitting there. And so when we start bringing that energy through, when we start kind of prodding into it and unweaving it and clearing it and bringing the light to it, the energy starts to ripple out. And it starts to clear. And so that discomfort that one has felt within their body starts to release. Yeah. Hence why somebody's got sciatica, when we bring that energy in and they release that in the lower back, actually the sciatica goes, because simply it's just a trapped nerve there. And they've gone,
Makes sense. And I love the fact that you use the word unweave. I love that word.
It's just how I see it, and I can't describe it any other way. When I'm teaching, and I now teach something called Earthlight Reiki, which is something that I've created really from Reiki, because I can't say I teach Usui Reiki anymore, because I don't.
No.
When I talk about attunements, I don't give traditional attunements. We sit there in a meditative state and you activate yourself, because that energy is already within each and every one of us. It's simply that awareness of it being there.
Yeah.
That we're just sitting in that space for that person to go, oh yeah, there it is. There, I can do that. And I don't teach, I facilitate, I hold the space. I kind of tell you a little bit about what I do, and I might show you what I do, but then I expect the students to take that and do exactly what I did and make their own from it. So they take that example, they might have a little play with it, and then they go off and do something that is completely unique and natural to them. And that, when I see that and I see them flying off with whatever it is they're doing, I'm like, yay.
Yeah, it's like that proud moment time, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you see the people you've trained or you've facilitated or whatever, and they go off and they do those things, and you're going, oh,
Yeah.
I watched them from there, and they've got that, stayed on there, and they're now up there with it, and you're kind
Yeah.
of like, oh.
It is. It's such, you feel so blessed to have been that part of their journey, even if all you were was that part right at the very start that got them on that journey, and then they're going and they're connecting with lots of other people. But it's just lovely, and it is such an honour to be that and to witness that, and to then for them to come back and go, yeah, you were there at the beginning, and I go, yeah.
Yeah,
Look at you now.
I know. It's so amazing when you hear when you hear about your former students. So Eleanor is here, and she says hello, Ray and Caroline.
Hello.
And we've got Cheryl here who says good
Good.
evening, ladies, as well.
Hiya.
And we've got Mary Louise here as well.
Hello.
Hello. So, if any of you've got any questions that you want to ask Caroline or anything, please feel free to ask them. You've got a chance if they're here to actually see it. And Cheryl says, I'm so privileged to be one of your students. There you go.
Thank you.
See?
Hey, Cheryl, I'm very privileged to be one of your teachers.
Which is absolutely brilliant. So so obviously when you're talking about unweaving, because we quite often don't know that we've weaved these stories, these illusions around us. So, how does it help, other people around us when we start unweaving those illusions, and that, does it have a knock-on effect to support your family and children? Does your intuition grow? How can that really help if you start unweaving things?
So ultimately, when we start to unweave those stories, when we start to clear those pathways, when we start to see ourselves and see our truth, see who we are, and accept and start loving those parts of ourselves that perhaps we've previously judged, we become more happy within ourselves. But also when we go home and we're connecting with our families, there are certain experiences, or I like to call them stories, because to me that's what they are, because obviously they're not happening to me, they're happening to somebody else. But there are interactions that we have with perhaps our partner, with our kids, that have been touching a point or kind of triggering stuff that we've been holding on to. So some of those patterns, when the patterns aren't there, those triggers can't happen.
Gotcha.
So what has previously caused sort of anxiety or caused unhappiness, that's not there. You've cleared that. So when that person says something that would normally be a trigger, the reaction is different. And quite often I talk to my clients about sort of 3 different kind of roles within the being. So you've got your adult, you've got your parent, and you've got your inner child. And they're all part of the ego, part of the psyche, part of the makeup of the person. And quite often when we're triggered, it's because it's reminding us something of our childhood. Yeah. And quite often when I will say to a client, when they say, blah, 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 they said this and da, 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 this, and I go, how old does that make you feel? And quite often they'll go, oh, 15, 7, 11. And I'm like, yeah, because like you're not in your adult there, are you? You're actually role playing something from your childhood that you know, there was that discomfort then, and now there is that trigger. So we work on that, we clear that pattern. But what we've also done is we've brought awareness to it. So even if we haven't fully cleared the pattern, when they go back into that situation and they get that trigger, instead of them going blah or getting upset, they go, hang on a minute, this is my 15-year-old or this is my 7-year-old coming up. What does he or she need? What do they need? And ultimately what they need is some love.
Yeah.
Or they need some attention, or they just need to be heard, or whatever. So they give themselves that time to actually step back, recognize how old they're being. They recognize that actually they're coming from a place that is unbalanced, it's insecure, it's vulnerable. And they can then choose to either share that vulnerability and go, actually, right now I'm feeling like I'm in my child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they can just literally choose to step into their adult and allow the child not to deal with it. And the other thing is often when these altercations happen, the person who's making the trigger is also not in their adult. Or if you said something and it's triggered them, you look at them and you go, you sound like a 13-year-old. Why do you sound like a 13-year-old? Because obviously that's their stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. And then because you start to see that and identify it, you realize that perhaps there's a different way you can speak, or there's a different way to prepare that conversation if need be. Or you can even turn around and say to that person, you're in your child right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or why are we arguing? How old do you feel right now? We sound like a couple of teenagers, and suddenly you both go, oh, yeah, and you step back into your adult because you recognize it. Now, what also happens is that sometimes we can step into our parent. And so when we go into our parent, what we want to do is take responsibility. We want to take care of everyone. We become a caretaker. And that means that we don't allow people to take responsibility for their stuff.
Yeah.
We think we can fix them. And ultimately, we're all responsible for our stuff. Nobody else can be responsible for it. So even when we try and take responsibility for somebody else, we're not taking anything from them. We're literally creating this illusion of more weight upon our shoulders.
Yeah, totally.
And we think we're doing it from a place of love. Yet beneath that, there is a need within us that is saying, I don't feel safe to let you just deal with your stuff.
Yeah.
So again, that comes up, and that we work through an Unweave as well. And quite often that also links back into childhood and our relationship with our parents, and and their relationship with each other that we witness too.
Yeah, it's all so sort of like I suppose you could say Freudian, really,
It is, yeah.
if you really were to go down that road. And it is amazing how our minds, our psyche, our subconscious really does have such an important role in our everyday lives.
It does. And there's quite a lot of defense mechanisms that come in order for us to keep ourselves safe. And when we're going on this journey, when we're recognizing ourselves, what we can do if we've got children is that actually we can share that wisdom with them. But instead of sharing it in a place of this is how it's done and da 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 da, actually when they are feeling discomfort, when they're feeling unbalanced, we can sit there with them and hold that space with them and explore that with them. And ultimately, I like to say ultimately quite a lot. I've noticed that. Ultimately, children have quite a fabulous imagination.
Oh God, yeah.
So, and we can use that imagination with them to help them feel safe. We can use that imagination with them to help them let go of stuff. And they find it a lot easier to actually process than we do, because we've been educated not to. We've been educated to hold it in, to be quiet, to not cry, to the 2 ears and 1 mouth and all that kind of stuff. That programming's been in, but they haven't had that programming. And if they haven't had it for very long.
Yeah.
So it's really, really easy. And in fact, they can probably teach us far more than we can teach them.
Oh, yeah, totally. We just have to give them the chance and the opportunity to do that.
Yeah. And when we sit, when they're having a problem or having an issue, and we sit down with them and we go, okay, so what's really going on? So tell me about your feelings inside your body. Tell me about what you're thinking about. Tell me about how, the bigger picture. And it all comes out and they just unweave it themselves.
Yeah.
And it's magical. And then your relationship with them gets stronger. And because it gets stronger, your intuition kind of kicks in more as well. And because you're starting to listen to yourself and listen to your inner child, you start to trust your instincts a bit more. And that means that when the 14-year-old walks past and you go, nope, something's not right there. Something's going on. They've not said anything. They've not done anything. They've just walked past you and you've gone, yeah, I need to go and talk to that person. I need to talk to that child. There's something off. And if we weren't trusting our intuition, we'd probably go, oh, it's just had a bad day at school.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and that might be all that it is. But if we don't ask that question, we don't know.
Yeah. And you've kind of like picked up the intuitive, the extra intuition that you have when you have children. Anyway, you get that kind of intuition, but it sort of like enhances that intuition as well. Michelle's here. Hi, ladies. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Thank you for joining. And so you say that on your journey, that one day you were sitting there and suddenly you were channeling, this angel. How did sort of like the light language come in? Was that just a natural progression, or when that came in, did you suddenly go, "What on earth's that?"
Do you know what? For so many sessions, it was in my head, and I did not say a word. It was just rolling through my head, and I thought I was absolutely nuts, absolutely crazy. And then I just kind of went, "Oh God, I just can't hold this any longer," and so I just let it out. And it was amazing. So light language, if anybody doesn't know what light language is, okay. So I'm connecting now.
Oh, you might.
Okay. Yeah. So there are different dialects and different kinds of light language. So you have the galactic light language, which you will quite often get from your guides. So your stellar guides, when they're coming through and connecting with you, they will talk to you in their language. And sometimes what you don't realize, because you think you hear them in English, is that you are actually translating it. But the more you kind of connect and the more you work with them, the more it actually starts to come through in their language. And some people understand every single word. I don't. I kind of get a feeling, an impression. And from what they've kind of said to me is that there are more words than our vocabulary. So that we don't have enough words to kind of describe what they're bringing through or what they're saying. So you've got these. So you've got your guides and you've got your kind of galactic light languages, and they will come through and channel stuff, particularly when you're working or healing. They'll come through, and that light language, as all light language, will come through into the body, and it kind of bypasses our brain. So it bypasses all the defense mechanisms that try and stop us from shifting or letting go of that cycle, that pattern that, okay, we don't like it, but it's safe.
Yeah.
It'll come in and blast it out.
Yeah.
Because you don't need it. So you get that, and that comes through and that trickles through into the body. But what we also have is our own divine light language. And the way that they describe it is it's like a universal language, and it's almost like the language of the soul. It's the language that everybody knows, and that resonates within us, and we all have that. We all have that ability to channel that, to connect with that. And babies, they know it. And when you talk to babies in light language, they understand you. They completely get it because they've just been born. So the only
Yeah,
language they actually know is the divine light language, the universal light language. And it's only as we then talk to them in English or Spanish or Italian or whatever language we
yeah,
speak that they then start to learn that language. But that light language, that universal light language, is within us all, and we all have that. And any single one of us can connect with that and speak with that. And when you hear it, sometimes you'll go, there's a bit of Spanish there, there's a bit of Russian there, there's a bit of this, there's like little twangs, because obviously, that was probably our original language, and we've then
yeah,
diversified and changed it as, you know, as we've evolved, really.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't, I don't channel light language in that, but on occasion, it has sort of like, if I've been with the group and we've been doing sounding as something, I'm really connecting to that energy. Then yes, I've known that this light language comes out. No idea what the hell it is, but it just sort of like comes out of my mouth. I'm just going,
Yeah.
okay, just let that all come out. But it's not a conscious thing where I'm always doing it. It's just very occasionally that will come in. But it is fun to do.
Yeah.
And I think sounding is so much fun anyway. But I know so many people that kind of like, because with angelic Reiki, part of the workshop with that is you use sounding to clear stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and the amount of students that kind of like go, I don't want to do it. I want to do it, and it's like, but it's such a wonderful thing to do. But we as humans, we really don't like using our voice,
No.
even though we talk all the time. We just don't like the sound that comes out of our mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interestingly, sound is something we explore in the level 2 Reikis that I teach, and actually finding our power sound, which sits in our sacral, and activating all our chakras to let it out, and that tends to lead into the light language. And what we tend to do is we tend to look at some of the symbols that Dr. Yusuri brought through, and then we write our own symbols. And what people are actually writing is light code.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, this symbol's really pretty. And I go, yeah, what does it mean? And they go, it means this. And I go, you can speak that language.
And they go, oh, okay.
Well, just like that. And it's like, yeah, just like that. And then when we kind of actually connect in with the light language, well, I do this thing where I go, right, okay, imagine you're a baby and you're doing baby babble, and we do baby babble. And as the baby babble kind of comes through, we actually start to form the words. And it's not rocket science. It's so simple. Just like energy is actually really simple, and healing is really simple. And it's only our mind that wants to complicate it and make it difficult.
Yeah, exactly. And we have got, let's see, so Elena says that she's Caroline and Damien's Elixir of Life class. I love these meditation sessions so much. These sessions helped me to release a lot of old stuck energies, clear some painful emotional energy trapped in some parts of my body. I sleep better now. My intuition is deepened for sure. And she can't wait for your class, or your class this year in July, which is lovely. And Mary Louise says that this is really so interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is really interesting. And Michelle says, yes, when you hear yourself from the outside rather than from within, it can make it difficult, like a voicemail recording. Absolutely. People say to me with my guided meditations, oh, your voice is so soothing, so I relax so easily. And I listen to it and I go, really? That's what I sound. That's what you think I sound like? Don't sound like that to me, but there you go.
I have exactly the same thing. Or people go, your voice changes when you do meditations.
Does it?
And I go, does it? And they go, yeah, it completely changes. And I go, okay, well, I'm probably channeling. It's just
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is, and you'll be chatting away for all this stuff, and then you're kind of like stop, and they go, "Oh wow, that's been information." You'll go, "Yeah, I can't remember a word
Was
of it
it?
though." Don't ask me what I told you because I really can't remember. Sorry.
I always have a bit where I go, right, if you want to ask any questions, you need to ask them now because I won't remember this.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're watching this, any questions that that you've got, ask them now because
I won't remember it.
exactly. You've been warned, We've still got a little bit of time left on the show, so you've been warned. Get your questions in now. And if you're watching this on the replay and you write your questions in, you'll probably get a completely different answer.
Good luck.
But you will get an answer.
You will.
If you're watching on the replay, you'll definitely get an answer. So, how did sound bowls come into it? So you're doing all this like language, this sounding, and everything, and then suddenly you've got sound bowls as well.
I got sound bowls. I gave my throat a rest.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So no, I went to a local supplier that I get a lot of my crystals from, and she had on this top shelf all these big white round bowls, and I'm like, what are they? She's like, oh yeah, they're sound bowls. So I was like, right, I've got to have a play of these, and I literally sat on the floor in this studio playing these bowls, going, yeah, I love this. So yeah, so I bought some.
As you do.
And then I bought some more until I'd got like all of them. And then I went, yeah, I really like playing these. And my lovely colleague Marissa also played the bowls with me. And I said to her, we need to do a sound bath because these bowls are really, really helping shift stuff. And actually, it's really a really easy and gentle way to introduce people to energy. And it means that I'm not sitting there channeling. It's not a meditation. It's not hands-on healing. It's just simply a sound bath. And I've never really been drawn to the gongs. Plus, they're too big. I don't want them in my house.
They're a pain to carry around.
Yeah, I don't want that. So these were perfect. And so we set up a crystal sound bath in Rochester, and just kind of went, yeah, we're just going to set it up, and you know what, even if we're the only two people there, we'll just spend an hour playing the bowls to ourselves, and we sold out.
Brilliant.
So and we kind of set one up for the next month, and that was really busy, and that was kind of how things went. And yeah, and then COVID hit.
Yeah, as it does.
As it does. So I went online for a little while and did some like monthly live Zoom sessions, but unfortunately the sound through the computer is not as good. You do not get as much of the vibration, of the tone. It's okay. Don't get me wrong, it's okay, but it's not great.
Yeah.
So what I have done since then is actually do pre-recorded. So I record it and edit it and make it as beautiful as I can make it. And every month I do a distant healing. So I will sit and send a healing out, and you listen to the sound. And that's free. I don't charge anything for that because I really enjoy doing it. And we, the last 3 months we've had 44 every time, 44 people connect in with us. I don't know why 44 seems to be the magic number.
Angel number.
It is an angel number, so I like that. Now we need to go up to 55 because I like numbers growing. But yeah, and because there is so many of us connecting in at the same time and listening to the sounds and just receiving that energy, it becomes a group collective. So the energy just swirls around and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So people are getting quite good shifts from it. And again, it's really accessible because it's just crystal sound. It's just distant healing. So it's not me channeling lots of light language or doing a meditation. And quite often it's that step in. It's I like this.
Yeah.
Oh, this makes me feel like this makes me feel calmer, this makes me feel this. And then people want to explore a little bit more, and then they kind of step into that road. And you know, I've been doing this a long time, and so I kind of work with people who are so far on their journey. You know, they're like Ayurvedic chefs and
Yeah.
yogis. Yeah. And
Yogi.
a yogi. You know, and I also work with people who have no idea what energy is at all. And I never want to lose that.
No.
I don't want to be all the way over here working with all these lovely, lovely people. I want to work with all these lovely, lovely people, but actually, I still want to see that magic of when people actually step onto their kind of spiritual journey and go, oh my God, this is amazing. And I go, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. And Cheryl says that the babies love the sound bowls.
They do. They do. And Cheryl, they love the light language too, don't they?
Yep. And Claire says Caroline speaks sign code and understand traits like what I speak. It's amazing. She wants to know if you'll be starting a Zoom group where they can speak, share freely, maybe meet the tribe. So rather than the sound bowls, to actually do the light language as a group.
So there is an Exploring Light Language Zoom group on the 7th of July in the morning. I've got, I think there's 6 spaces. I'm keeping it quite small at the moment because a lot of people are new to the language. So I want it to be a place where you don't have to speak light language. You don't need to have connected with it. It's just if you're interested and you want to explore that, then you can, and we'll talk about it and learn what it is. And yeah, and then I'm just kind of playing with dates as I move forward. There's you know, there's so much going on or not going on, and we never know. So so just watch this space really. And I will obviously, there are other people I know who speak light language who run different light language groups as well. So I will be sharing their stuff too, because it's not all about me.
No, it is really a collective, you know, of this all sharing each other's you know, gifts, talents, experiences with other people, and us all working together as a collective. Even if we do the same thing, it's just allowing different people to experience it in different ways.
Yeah, because even if we're doing the same thing, we're not doing it in the same way.
No.
And we all have our own unique skills and skill set, and everybody is attracted to different people at different times. And you know what? We're there for everyone. And you know, if you join sort of the Ascending Angels tribe group, you'll find that I'm often sharing other people's stuff, and I keep going, people, share your stuff, because you know what? I've only got so many hours in the day, and actually, I don't want to be doing everything. I like doing what I do, and the people who connect with that, that's fabulous, and I love that. But if you connect with something else that's on that tribe group, then that is awesome as well.
Yeah, it's the same with my Radiant Angels group as well. It's like, yeah, you know, I've got so much going on. I can't post all the time. You know, please do post stuff that you think is going to be of interest to everyone, because you know, that's how we share and that's how we learn. You know, and you could post something on there where I'll go, oh my God, I want to go and check that out now.
Yeah.
I want to go and I've never heard. You know, that's one of the things I love about this show. You know, with all the guests I've spoken to, you know, over the last couple of years, is I've learned about different modalities, different ways of working, and it's just like, oh my God, there's so much out there that we don't hear about every day.
Yeah, there is. And when I think back to when I first connected with energy all those years ago, there was hardly anything out there at all. You know, and we were kind of like the forerunners. We were there at the almost, I want to say the beginning, but it wasn't the beginning. But it was the beginning of what was actually coming through. And I listen now, you know, I see now so many people connecting with Ascended Masters, so many people connecting in with the archangels, with other different beings, and galactic energies, and the Pleiades, and Arcturians, and the Sirians, and I'm like, yes,
exactly,
because it makes me go, I'm just gonna sit here and raise my family and do little odds and sods and bits and pieces that I want to do, because you know what, guys, you've got it.
Yeah, exactly. As my regular viewers will know, when I first started working with angels, there was a lot of angel stuff in this country. Doreen
No?
Virtue, Diana Cooper weren't really known. And I had, if I wanted anything angelic, I had to get it at Christmas. And I signed up for a Christmas catalogue so I could get angel stuff because that was the only way you could get angel stuff back then. And now you can go to the pound shop and get angel stuff, and it's brilliant. It's like everywhere, unicorns, dragons,
Yeah,
everything's everywhere now, and it's so amazing that that's all now coming in. It's available to anybody and everybody.
yeah, it is. It's fabulous.
Yeah. And Claire also says, and thank you for your free sound bath. It's amazing. And she's very grateful for
Thank
it.
you.
And Cheryl says, they are beautiful. Thank you for your monthly sound baths.
Bless her. Thank you.
I love sound baths myself. And Elena says, I really love this crystal sounds, the solar plexus chakra you posted on your YouTube channel yesterday. Thank you, Carol. And thank you for putting
Thank
the
you.
link to that in there, Eleanor. That's brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Cheryl says yes, they do love light language, and that. So, as you know, I do angel oracle cards and guided meditations, and each week I do like to ask my guests whether they would like me to pull an angel oracle card or to do a mini guided meditation for themselves and those watching. So, Caroline, you get to choose what you would like me to do.
Ooh,
Mm.
ooh, ooh. So, why don't you do a mini meditation and then I will add a little bit of light language in at some point to just bring through that summer solstice energy and ground that through. How does that sound?
That sounds absolutely brilliant. I think we will definitely do that.
Okay.
Okay, so just everyone, just if you want to close your eyes. And as you do so, just take a deep breath in. And on the out breath, just release everything that doesn't need to be in this space. Take another deep breath in. And on the out breath, just release everything that doesn't need to be here. And just think about relaxing. But when you think about relaxing, so you will relax. Give yourself permission to relax. And as you do so, I want you to see, feel, imagine, or know a beautiful golden light above your head. It's a beautiful golden light of peace and relaxation. And just allow this beautiful golden light to move into your head. And as it does, you feel all your muscles in your head start to relax. Your brow, your temples, your eyes, your eyelids feeling so heavy. As this relaxation moves down into your nose, your ears, your cheeks, your mouth, and your jaw. And this golden relaxing light moves down into your neck, and you feel all your neck muscles start to relax. Your throat start to open up. As this relaxation moves down into your shoulders, and your shoulders just relax so much. And this relaxation moves down into your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, your wrists, your hands, and your fingers. And just allow this relaxation now to move into your upper body. And just feel all your chest muscles start to relax, your stomach muscles, all the muscles in your back, and your spine relaxing vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. As this relaxation moves down into your hips, your pelvis, and your buttocks, moving all the way down into your thighs, your knees, your calves, your shins, your ankles, your feet, and your toes. And your whole body is just so relaxed. And where your body is so relaxed, I want you to engage your imagination and just imagine that you are standing on a beautiful beach with the sea rolling in beautiful, clear white sand. And it's almost dawn, and you can feel a slight breeze on the air. And you know that you're there watching the sunrise on the summer solstice, bringing in the promise of new adventures, abundance, things that you need to come into your life that will help you move forward. And I'll just leave you there watching the sunrise and just see what information comes to you.
Treloliamo Greciano Shalitia Doredete. Ororalia Harli Nudredendo Sitiamo Lerete. Okolnania Haliti Hamolete. Obare Lolelia Nania Dosandi. Guriale Doresiano Niana. Imuneanete. Iano Sheali Goliamo Sonodriamone. Io non niente liamo dolesiande, oyania kayaya, liamo deresi diamone, yali nonane. Nice deep breaths. Dia halulia nonea notasia tereteano faliamo me. Imonea nosiano sari tereteano laliamo teate. Teremos yandore potandeando sono hiahamo, hiahasaniate reatore seteanote. Viamo diano se, shono viande. So we're simply bringing through down through your crown, through your spine, and anchoring into your solar plexus now. The new light codes, the light codes of the solar, the light codes of 2021. The light codes of ascension to now expand through your body, to shift all that no longer serves, to release all that no longer serves, to clear old contracts, clear old concepts, old pathways, old beliefs, old patterns, and just bringing in the new now, the new journey, the new way, a lighter way, a clearer way. Gretara hali mudro sandiano teano sisiano tareteano te, Roma teano daresia. And this energy now just flowing from your solar plexus down through your pillar of light and anchoring into your earth star, that chakra beneath your feet that links you to earth. And it rises up through your pillar of light, through your crown and the chakras above, and connecting you to your soul. Kresana siano sarisiano dreandarea, and balancing and aligning as this expands out now through and into every single cell of your form, every single aspect of your being, out into your aura. Uruliana nene, Uriana dia, releasing all that no longer serves, all that has been holding you in a space of disharmony, disempowerment, a space of disillusionment of all that you are and all that you can be. And simply now just bringing through a wave of compassion, of love, of grace, a very gentle blessing now coming through from the angelic realm, coming through and awakening into the divine aspect of thy being as it expands more fully, more grounded, more connected with the physical you, the emotional you, the mental you, with all your aspects of being, empowering, enhancing, evolving. Ridia doreteri durasindimia doridiana de alalaya munade. Remosiano saritiano de alade. Rosuno fialia tahaindosiadade. Just breathing and receiving these blessings. grace, with love. Roshono sono sona seresiano dea. As they gently calm through your system now, calming your mind and your body, balancing into one balance, aligning your mind and your body as one balance, and very gently completing now. Trishano teri oruri orandialia kosindiante anande. Bruno de osenianande. Ianonania. Isenia. Just releasing any last remnants from your solar plexus, from your digestive system, to just ease through and complete. Ianonania. Osono shoniate. Handote hasea. Iano. Your whole body filled with golden light, the goldenness that you are, wondrous being of light, of creation. Ianonianete, oreandea, loleanodea, presenodiate, drosomete, ianoniane, completing, balancing, completing.
As you're standing there, the sun has now completely risen in the sky, and you feel the warmth of the sun on you, knowing that you are now fully free and clear to bring in whatever you need for your highest good in the coming months, when the fruit is at its ripest and there is bounty for all, and there is unconditional love within the whole world, and we all are connected to each other, bringing a sense of community and joy and sharing abundance and light with all. And now I want you to bring your awareness back to your nose. Just bring your awareness to your nose, and as you do, just wiggle your nose, get the feeling back into your body. Maybe just wiggle and move your body, your fingers and your toes. Make sure you are back fully present. If need be, rub your hands, stamp your feet on the ground, open your eyes, and make sure you are fully back, fully present, and fully here. And welcome back. That was beautiful. Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you. So obviously, there was a lot of energy that came through. So please do drink lots and lots of water. If you're listening to this on catch up, the energy will still work.
Mm.
Because it's held there, so you will still receive. Sometimes when we've kind of received a lot of energy, particularly in a short space of time, it can take a few days for it to settle. So just be aware of that as well. And you might want to go and lie down for another 15 minutes.
Yeah, just to let the energy
Just
really
finish.
assimilate within you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and Cheryl says, thank you. That was so lovely.
Thank you.
It was really lovely. So, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. And if you want to share your experience, you're more than welcome to. So, Caroline, do you have any insights or thoughts to leave our viewers?
Insights or thoughts?
Last
Yeah,
word.
just a last word. Oh, okay. So before I do a last word, as Elena said, I am running a monthly online transmission with the lovely Damien Nola called The Elixir of Life, and it's over 3 evenings every month, and it's online and it's really, really powerful. So please do have a look at that. I think we've got Earth is our next month, which is working with the Magdalene. So really kind of shifting through and just clearing our being, our body. Last final words, just be gentle with yourselves. Just really think about being kind to yourself. Yeah. we're really tough on ourselves. Let's just be kind and gentle and forgiving.
Yeah, absolutely and totally. And Mary Louise says, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
And Elena says, thank you for the beautiful meditation. You're welcome. I love it when when I work in combination with my guests, it's kind of like so amazing the energy that's creating. It just goes to show, that even with the different methods and modalities that everyone uses, they can all combine together. Whether paganism and angels, galactic beings, energy, all of it really is just all the same. It's just all done differently, but it weaves so beautifully together. So more
Yes,
collaboration is what is needed
it
between
is.
all different people.
Yeah, I love collaborating. It really makes my heart sing.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, I love doing that too. So I hope everyone that you've enjoyed this and found it insightful. And the words of wisdom Caroline has given you will help you further on your journey. Now, Caroline, if people want to connect with you, how do they do that?
So the best way to connect is to either go on the website, which is ascendingangels.com, have a Facebook page, which is also Ascending Angels. Instagram, I'm rubbish with, but it's there. And there's also a group called the Ascending Angels Tribe, which is probably where you will find me most. So please do connect on there, or if not, send me an email or give me a call.
Yep. And what I will do is I will put those links in the comments, so you can literally just click on it and go straight to wherever those are,
Thank you.
those pages are. Yeah, and I know about Instagram. I'm on it, but I don't spend a lot of time
Don't
on
get
it
it.
as I used to. But there's just so much, so much that I need to do, so I just can't do it. But I do have, but it is there. Um, and of course, if you have reached that crossroads in your life and you need help finding your life purpose and getting clear on your path, then I would love to be that guide for you. So please feel free to reach out and connect with me, and we can arrange a free 20 to 30-minute video call to find out more about each other and whether I think I can help you on your journey to take charge of your destiny. And of course, if you want to learn more, a chance to learn more about angels, card readings, and so much more to help you spread your wings and soar, then do check out my Angel Wings membership community or join my Radiant Angels Facebook group, where it's not just angels, it's everything to do with. Where it's just eclectic. It's everything that you can imagine in the whole world, whether it's angels, paganism, galactic beings, quantum fit, whatever is an eclectic mix. And of course, if you want to sign up to my free weekly newsletter on my website, then you do get a future life progression recording that will take you into future lifetime to gain some insights. And there's some other free gifts on there as well. So thank you everyone so much for watching, and I would like to invite you to share this video, as I'm sure there are more women who feel lost and want to get clear on their destiny just like you. And of course, if you are watching this on YouTube, if you feel like it, do subscribe. Every subscription helps. And do hit the bell to be notified when the show goes live, or when I put out any of my guided meditations on there as well. And I look forward to you all joining me again the same time, same place next week. And before we go, Cheryl says thank you both.
Thank you.
And
Thank
thank
you.
you to all those beautiful people that have commented today. And Elena, thank you for putting up that link to Caroline's solar plexus crystal sounds. So see you all next week. And thank you, Caroline, for being here.
Thank you
It's
very
been an
much.
absolute pleasure. And I will see you all soon. Bye.
Bye.